Alright, hello and welcome to another video. We're going to be reviewing Janky playing his War League match with Catsith once more. He's playing against Marcus, one of the better retro Yu-Gi-Oh players on the Discord. We believe Marcus could be playing Agents. So, turn 1, we go Tour Guide, we grab Kashana, we detach Kashana with Leviathan, and we set the book. Janky agrees, but detaches Tour Guide instead of Kashana. I do not understand this. I want the light in the graveyard. I also want to have Kashana in the graveyard in case we draw Catsith down the line. Troopers activated. We don't need to respond. Set 2. Here, our Sangan gets dust shot. And now there's a question of whether we go Tour Guide or Duality. Generally, we are not scared of Torrential when playing against agents, but I would still play Duality rather than push damage with Tour Guide. But it's not completely obvious, or even clear, I could be wrong. Janky decides to go with the Tour Guide, it gets heralded, so now we get to do both. Because the activation was negated, we can now also play the Duality. Janky decides to detach with Leviathan, fearing Call of the Haunted for Christia, I believe. I think this makes sense. I am very torn on whether it's worth it or not, because we can just book the Christia, then they have expended their Call of the Haunted, which is quite good down the line. Regardless, I think we should have Duality first. Janky appears to have forgotten that he can legally activate Duality here, which is quite a big oversight. Easy mistake to make though. Here I would not set the Wind Blast, I would still activate Duality. So now, once we run over this agent, we're going to be putting them at 4 fairies, which means Christie is live. But of course, our Leviathan is at 3000, so that's something. We always lead with Duality. We always pick Sorcerer. We always attack. And now it's interesting. What do we set? I believe there are a few different ways to do this. One is to try and maintain the effectiveness of our Gores. I should definitely have checked whether the dust shoot saw the Gores or not. I'm quite annoyed that I didn't note this. I think we give up on the Gores, set Judgments at Wind Blast and try to win with pressure. I believe that's the best play. Sets only one dust shoot, which gives us the option of pitching Judgment to the Wind Blast and then summoning a Gores on an attack down the line. We do not Wind Blast this agent because we have Sorcerer Secretary of the Gotchi Gotchi. Marcus goes for Hyperion, pop in the Leviathan. This is just fine, of course. Go Gotchi. And now it's very interesting. So here on the Venus attack, we have the option of Wind Blasting away the Hyperion, and then summoning Gores with a 2000 token next to it. And then we take our turn, we summon Sorcerer, we banish the Gotchi, and we're actually threatening lethal. Because we're going to be swinging for 29. I believe probably this is our best play. Other option, if Marcus doesn't know about the Gores, is to take the 2000 and then on the Hyperion attack, we Wind Blast away the Gotchi, which is a slightly better version. But yeah, whether or not Marcus knows about the Gores, we go for one play or the other. Janky decides to do this, which quite frankly doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, Venus is a bad top deck for Marcus. We can drop the Chaos Sorcerer, get rid of the Hyperion, but this way we're not developing our Gores. Cause, yeah. No, I don't understand why this would ever be better. I think, I do think this is a mistake. And now it's kind of telling that, yeah, Marcus knows about the Gores, right? That's why this Hyperion isn't attacking, I would think. And now call it order for Christia just wins the game. And I think if we had just, yeah, let's see what, let's just see what would have happened for the fun of it. Not that it should influence the decision. But if we had Windblasted Hyperion summoned Gores, and now Christia comes down, we would still be in a huge amount of trouble. So yeah, we would probably still have been in a losing position. Yeah, this Call of Daunter for Christia just completely messes us up. Because even if we had a 27 Gores and a 2000 token, I mean they have a Hyperion on top. Yeah, this Call of Daunter just wins the game. Alright, that's that. Game 2. Here we always lead with duality set spy. Want to grab a back row as we have a few normal summons already. We do not set the judgment because we're not judgmenting Earth, Trooper or Venus here. Yankee decides to set the duality, which is a bit tricky trying to bait out the MST. But there are lines where next turn we want to use Tour Guide and the polar duality is stuck here, which leaves us exposed to things like Heavy Storm, or as you will see later into the game, even Black Rose. This is perfect. We get Birdman and we get Black Rose. But this is still not a disaster. We're more or less just back to square one. Both players have 4 cards in hand, and we're on the play. We always go Torgad, we always grab Kushano. Now it's very interesting whether or not we attack with Torgad plus Kushano here, or if we go Leviathan attack, or if we go Levier, detach, grab Birdman attack. Overall, I think it's not worth it to put ourselves in a spot where we need to judgment a card trooper, which we know Marcus has. So I think all Levier plays are probably not worth it. I believe we should attack and then go Leviathan to make Gorse as unpunishing as possible. We always detach Kushano of course, and we set the judgment and now we're setting up for a game shot. So I believe Trooper mills the 4 fairy here, which is quite convenient for Marcus. So now we can go Christia, but we don't care because we can Kushano, Catsith, pop Christia, summon BLS, summon Kushano, swing, that's lethal, and we have a judgment to back it up. We do not believe our opponent has a course. Now we draw the Sangan, which means we can make the exact same play, but we get to summon Sangan instead of Kushano. Overall, just great. Marcus is trying to be tricky here, representing Gorse, but if they actually had Gorse, they wouldn't MST here, but they would MST on the BLS attack instead. So it's quite evident that we don't have it. Game 3. We're up against Venus. Not a great start for us. Obviously we have upstart. Now we have the option to either go Thunder King, set Wind Blast, and try to get them on the Venus attack. Of course, Marcus will see through this. It's a bit dangerous to MST. You could argue it's a risk we have to take. I would just set Sangan. I think it's safer on average. As you will see though, they have the MST. But they also have the Thunder King, so both plays would have gone unpunished. Now we're in huge trouble. We draw Upstart, which we lead with. Finding ourselves a Spy, which we're going to set. The Spy can potentially uh, keep us from taking damage the next turn, but also putting a Dark in the graveyard for our Sorcerer, giving us some hope, perhaps. But Marcus has the Mind Con and goes for lethal. So game 1, extremely interesting. Well played overall. I think a couple of odd spots from Janky, but overall well played. Game 2, yeah, just played well, drew well, got there, and game 3 was completely winnable. I don't think there were any mistakes made there really. Yeah, So that's the game. Thank you for watching, and I'll try to be back next week.